So we have to start with aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem क्या होता है, जिसमें ज़्यादातर मतलब लेक्स, पॉन्ड्स और ये सब इंक्लूड करते हैं. तो इट मे बी क्लासिफाइड बीइंग स्टैग्नेंट इकोसिस्टम और रनिंग वाटर इकोसिस्टम. जैसे रिवर्स होंगे तो वो रनिंग वाटर है, अगर कोई पॉन्ड है तो वो स्टैग्नेंट है, मतलब वो उसी जगह पे रहता है, उसमें वाटर फ्लो नहीं होता है ना. So
Yes, ma'am.
the aquatic ecosystem are classified into freshwater, brackish, and marine ecosystem, which are based on salinity levels. ठीक है, कितना सलाइन है, कितना सॉल्ट का कंटेंट है, उस पर डिपेंड करता है. जैसे सी वाटर जो होता है वो ज्यादा सॉल्टी होता है, फ्रेश
Yes,
वाटर होता है
ma'am.
वो सॉल्टी नहीं होता है. तो उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि फ्रेश वाटर है, ब्रैकिश है या मरीन है. ठीक है, या मरीन इकोसिस्टम है, सॉरी. तो ये डिपेंड करता है सैलिनिटी लेवल पे. जो मरीन इकोसिस्टम होता है वो सबसे ज्यादा सलाइन होता है, उसमें सबसे ज्यादा सॉल्ट होता है. उससे कम जो सलाइन वाटर होता है वो ब्रैकिश एरियाज में होता है, जैसे रिवर्स इन मतलब डेल्टा रीजन रिवर्स होता है. Then also coral reefs are very rich species and are found only a few shallow tropical seas. The richest coral reef in India are around Andaman and Nicobar Island and Gulf of Kutch. Brackish water ecosystem in river deltas are covered by mangrove forests and are among the world's most productive ecosystem in terms of biomass production. The largest mangrove swamps are in Surbans in delta of Ganges. Then there is a pond ecosystem. Pond ecosystem is the simplest aquatic ecosystem. And there's a difference in a pond that is temporary and has water only in the monsoon. क्योंकि एक लार्ज टैंक की तरह होता है पॉन्ड, तो जब भी बारिश होती है वो अच्छे से फिल हो जाता है. तो इट इज काइंड ऑफ टेम्पररी, लाइक परमानेंट सोर्स नहीं है. बारिश होगी तो पॉन्ड फिल होगा, बारिश नहीं होगी तो फिर नहीं, वहां पे इतना वाटर नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है, जब बारिश में पानी भर जाता है तो इट फॉर्म्स लाइक इट गिव्स लाइफ टू सम फॉर्म्स, जैसे एल्गाई, माइक्रोस्कोपिक एनिमल्स, aquatic insects, snails, worms. ठीक है, and they have remained dormant in the dry phases. Gradually more complex animals such as crab, frog, fish, they also return to the pond. The vegetation on water consists of floating weeds and rooted vegetation on the periphery, which grows on the muddy floor under the water and emerge out the surface of water. Then there is lake ecosystem. A lake ecosystem is like a giant permanent pond where a large amount of plant material is the algae, which derives energy from the sun. Energy cycle through the lake ecosystem from the sunlight that penetrates the water surface to the plant. From plant energy is transferred to herbivore animals and carnivores. Animal excrete uh, Animal excreta, the waste product which settles on the bottom of the lake, is broken down by small animals in the ecosystem by the varies from microscopic algae to large seaweeds. Then seashores ecosystem. Beaches can be sandy, rocky, shell covered, or muddy. On each of these different types, there are several specific species which have evolved to occupy a separate niche. There are different uh, animals such as crabs that make holes on the sand, and various shore birds feed on the prey by moving the sand or the mud in the seashore. So basically, what are the threats to the aquatic ecosystem? That the water pollution occurs from the sewage and poorly managed soil waste in urban areas. When it enters the aquatic ecosystem of lake and rivers, a sewage leads to process called eutrophication, which destroys life and water as the oxygen content is severely reduced. Then chemical pollution from the industry kills large number of life forms in adjacent aquatic ecosystem, and contamination by heavy metals and other toxic chemicals affect the health of the people who lives near these areas as they depend on these water. So now how we can conserve our aquatic ecosystem? Changing the nature of aquatic ecosystem from flowing water ecosystem to a static ecosystem destroy its natural biological diversity. Thus dams across the river decrease the population of species that requires running water while favoring those that need standing water. Aquatic ecosystems, especially wetlands, need protection by including them in sanctuaries or national parks in the same way in which we protect natural forests. These sanctuaries in aquatic ecosystem protect a variety of forms to life as well as rare fish which are now highly endangered such as marsh. Wetland sanctuaries and national parks are greatest important as this is one of the most threatened of our ecosystem. As a proportion of Earth's surface that is naturally covered by wetland is very small compared to forest or grassland, and the wetland ecosystem are very highly threatened. Okay, so now we'll start with next topic, which is pollution. So, Sudhi, what do you understand by pollution? Sudhi,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you understand by pollution? Pollution क्या होता है? Answer me. What is pollution?
मैम 1 सेकेंड। यस मैम। मैम प्रोड्यूसर मैम 3 टाइप्स के होते हैं।
प्रोड्यूसर्स नहीं, पॉल्यूशन।
यस मैम प्रोड्यू
आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट पोल्यूशन। एयर पोल्यूशन, वाटर पोल्यूशन होता है, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट कि पोल्यूशन क्या होता है, नॉट प्रोड्यूसर्स। सो बेसिकली पोल्यूशन इज कि कोई अनडिजायरेबल चेंज हो रहा है जो हमारे सराउंडिंग को इफेक्ट कर रहा है ना हार्मफुल वे, जिसमें प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स एंड ह्यूमन बींग सब इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं, तो दैट इज पोल्यूशन। ठीक है। एंड देन पॉल्यूटेंट्स आल्सो इंक्लूड सॉइल, लिक्विड और गैसियस सब्सटेंस present in greater than the natural abundance produced due to human activity, which have uh, which have adverse effect on the environment. ओके। तो पॉल्यूशंस कितने टाइप के होते हैं?
मैम 3 टाइप्स के होते हैं।
हाँ बताओ।
मैम
होते
वाटर
बहुत सारे टाइप
पोल्यूशन।
के हैं, बट अब तुम्हें जो पता है वो बताओ।
यस मैम। मैम साउंड पोल्यूशन,
हाँ।
जल प्रदूषण और मैम वायु प्रदूषण। मैम ये 3 टाइप्स के हमने मैम पढ़े हैं।
ओके। तो फर्स्ट इज एयर पोल्यूशन, देन वाटर पोल्यूशन, सॉइल पोल्यूशन, marine pollution, noise pollution, thermal pollution and nuclear hazards। ठीक है। एयर पोल्यूशन क्या
यस
होता
मैम।
है श्रुति?
मैम एयर प्रदूषण जो होता है जो मैम हवा से फैलती है। कैसे मैम?
हाँ, तो क्यों होता है वो? होता तो हवा में है, लेकिन क्यों होता है? पोल्यूशन क्यों होता है? अभी तो बताया पोल्यूशन क्या होता है, क्यों होता है। तो एयर में पोल्यूशन क्यों होता है बेटा? श्रुति, एयर पोल्यूशन क्यों होता है बेटा? Okay, air pollution occurs due to the presence of undesirable solid or gaseous particles in the air in the quantity that are harmful to human health and the environment. Pollutants that emit directly from the source are produced both by natural event, like if there is a dust storm या volcanic eruption है, तो अगर ह्यूमन एक्टिविटी से देखें तो जैसे व्हीकल से या इंडस्ट्री से जो गैस रिलीज होता है, जो पॉल्यूशन उससे क्रिएट होता है, तो दीज आर लाइक टाइप ऑफ पॉल्यूटेंट जो है नेचुरल भी और ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज के थ्रू भी। देन कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड है, विच इज कलरलेस, odorless and toxic, and it's a toxic gas। एंड इफ लाइक एज वी गो टुवर्ड्स द नेचुरल साइड, जैसे अगर कोल या वुड है, अगर पूरा बर्न नहीं होता है तो वो भी गैस रिलीज करता है या मोनोऑक्साइड रिलीज करता है। Then sulfur oxides are produced by sulfur containing fossil fuels are burned. Nitrogen oxides are found in vehicular exhaust. Nitrogen oxide is significant as they are involved in the production of secondary air pollutants such as ozones. Then hydrocarbons are there. हाइड्रोकार्बन क्या होता है? ग्रुप ऑफ कंपाउंड होता है जिसमें कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन एटम्स होते हैं. They either evaporate from the fuel supply or like they are evolved when the like it's not properly burned. Then how it will affect the plants? When some gaseous pollutants enter leaf pores, they damage the leaves of crop plants. Chronic exposure to the leaves to air pollutant can break down the waxy coating that helps preventing the excessive water loss and leads to the damage from disease, pests, droughts, and frost. Such exposures interferes with the photosynthesis and the plant growth, reduces nutrition nutrient uptake, and cause leaves to turn yellow, brown, or drop off altogether. Then every year air pollutants cause damage worth billion of rupees. Air pollutants break down exterior paints on cars and houses. All around the world, air pollutants are discolored, irreplaceable monuments, historical buildings, marble statues, etc. So this is how they are affecting the material. Then there could be severe adverse effect to global warming with this. With the warmer Earth, the ice caps will melt, causing a rise in the ocean levels and flooding of coastal areas. Then, in countries like Bangladesh or Maldives, this would be in a severe case because the sea level rises 3 meter, and like if the sea rises 3 meters, the Maldives will disappear completely beneath the waves. The rise in temperature will also bring about the fall in agricultural produce. Then, in the polar region, if the temperature rises caused by global warming, the vast quantity of methane will be trapped beneath the frozen soil to Alaska. When the when this frost melts, the methane that will be released can accelerate the process of global warming. So how can we control this air pollution? It can be controlled by two fundamental approaches: preventive techniques and effluent control. One of the effective means of controlling air pollution is to have proper equipment in place. This includes device for removal of pollutants from the flue gases through scrubbers, closed collection recovery system through which it is possible to collect the pollutants before they escape. Use of dry and wet collectors, filters, electrostatic precipitators, etc. Providing a great height to stack can help in facilitating the discharge of pollutants as far as from the ground as possible. Industry should be located in the place so that it can minimize the effect of pollution after considering the topography and wind direction. Then what is water pollution? Water is the essential element that makes the earth life possible. We usually take it for granted as it flows from our taps when they are turned on. Most of us are able to bathe with what we want, swim when we choose, and water our gardens. Like good health, we ignore water when we have it. So, although 71% of Earth's surface is covered by water, only a tiny fraction of water is available as the source of fresh water to us. About 97% of total water available on the earth is found in oceans, and it's too salty for drinking or irrigation. The remaining 3% is fresh water, out of which 2.99% is logged in ice caps or glaciers. Thus, we have only 0.003% on the Earth's of total volume of water, which is easily available and to us as a soil moisture, groundwater, water vapors, and waters in lakes, streams, rivers, and wetlands. What is the cause of water pollution? There are several uh, classes of common water pollutants. These are disease causing agents, which are pathogens, which includes bacteria, viruses, protozoa, and parasite swarms that enter water from domestic sewage and untreated human and animal waste. Human waste contain mm, concentrated pollution of coliform bacteria human waste contain concentrated pollutions of coliform bacteria. These bacteria normally grow in large intestine of human, where they are responsible for food digestion and the production of vitamin K. Another category of water pollutants is oxygen depleting waste. These organic wastes that are decomposed by aerobics, oxygen recurring bacteria. Large pollutions of bacteria use up the oxygen present in the water to degrade these wastes. In the process, this degraded water quality. The amount of oxygen required to break down a certain amount of oxygen matter is called biological oxygen demand (BOD). The third class of pollutants are inorganic plant nutrients. These are water soluble nitrates and phosphates that cause excessive growth of algae and other aquatic plants. These excessive growth of algae and aquatic plants will start the water clogging in the water intake pipe, changing the taste and the odor of the water, and cause buildup of organic matter. And these organic matter decays, oxygen level decreases, and fish and other aquatic species will die. Sometimes oil is also washed into the surface water in runoff from roads and parking lots, which also pollutes groundwater. Leakage from underground tank in other is also another source of pollution. Accidental oil spills from large transport tankers at sea have been causing significant environmental damage. Then, how the groundwater is polluted? It is basically polluted due to the urban runoff, untreated or poorly treated wastewater and garbage, industrial waste storage located above or near aquifers, agricultural practices such as applications of large amount of fertilizers and pesticides, animal feeding operations, etc. in the rural sector. Leakage from underground storage tanks containing gasoline and other hazardous substances. Poorly designed, inadequate maintenance of septic tank and mining waste. So how can we control this? While the foremost necessary is prevention, setting up effluent treatment plant and treating waste through these can reduce the pollution load in the recipient water. The treated effluent can be reused for either gardening or cooling purpose wherever possible. A few years ago, a new technology called root zone process has been developed by Thermax. This system involves running contaminated water through the root zone of specially designed reed beds. The reeds, which are essentially wetland plants, have the capacity to absorb oxygen from the surrounding air through their stomatal openings. The oxygen is pushed through the porous stem of the reeds into the hollow root where it enters the root zone and create conditions suitable for the growth of numerous bacteria and fungi. These microorganisms oxides impurities in wastewater so that the water which finally comes out is clean. So our next topic is soil pollution, and we'll be continuing with this in our next class. Thank you, Stuti.
Thank you, ma'am.